because that's how much I love this show. And neither is Tom. Just kidding. He's taking tons of time off. True story. Thank you for listening. I'm Bill Ryder. He's Pretty Daddy. We'll see you back here tomorrow. I'll be in Chicago. You're on Ryder the
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Tyler from Wendy's here. The best part of Wendy's new Cinnabon Pull-Apart is every part. Unlike mornings, which have no good parts. Until now. Because with Wendy's new breakfast Cinnabon Pull-Apart, mornings finally don't completely suck. And now that mornings have warm cinnamon sugar rolled dough and ooey gooey frosting, are they the best part of every day? Probably not, but you get the idea. Get to Wendy's today and get the best part in every bite with the new Cinnabon Pull-Apart.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, Cinnabon is a registered trademark of Cinnabon franchise or SPP.
Hey guys, Kyle Gaines here from Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram here in Washington, North Carolina. You guys ready for summer? Because we are with the hot deals that we got going on right now. We have over $10,000 off 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorns. That's right, folks, over $10,000 off these trucks. We have a huge selection of Ram trucks, and we need to make these deals happen. And remember, drive a little, save a lot. Check us out at WashingtonChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com.
Come experience Greenville's newest theater, Golden Ticket Cinemas, located on Greenville Boulevard near Cracker Barrel. With stadium seating and reserved luxury recliners, you can enjoy the movie along with great concessions such as L House sliders, delicious wings, pizza, and hot dogs. And they even have milkshakes. You can always find great deals at Golden Ticket Cinemas, such as $5.50 Ticket Tuesdays and free family movies at 11 a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show in style with luxurious amenities and top-notch service at Golden Ticket Cinemas.
Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, get rid of unwanted hair and under-eye fat pads? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar MediSpa for a free consultation and ask about our newest technologies and treatments. Learn more at beautybarmedispa.com. Red Banks Road, Greenville. Enjoy your visit, love your transformation, and go Pirates!
This is Talbot Green with Integrity Home Mortgage. Are you ready and pre-approved if the home you want to purchase comes for sale today? This is a very important step when trying to purchase a home in the current market. Integrity Home Mortgage offers a wide variety of loan programs. Our team of Talbot Green, Braxton Green, and Joanne Weir has over 50 years of experience and is committed to providing you with the superior customer service you deserve.
To get started, call me, Braxton Green, at 526-8260.
Braxton Green, NMLS 222-3878. For informational purposes only, Integrity Home Mortgage Corporation is an equal housing lender, NMLS 208516.
Save a load on a new John Deere compact utility tractor and loader from Quality Equipment. It's never been easier to get the best brand on the market at an unbeatable cash price or with great financing at our lowest ever monthly payment. Now is the time to get that tractor package you've been dreaming of to get your next job done right. Stop by one of our 36 locations in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia, or visit us online at qualityequip.com.
There's a special deal at U.S. Cellular where you can get unlimited data for just $30 a line. It's perfect for you, Barbershop Quartet.
That's us.
And right now, you can even get 4 free phones.
4 free phones.
U.S. Cellular, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
In this new world of having everything delivered to your home or office, why wouldn't you start using Cellular Warehouse for all of your cellular deliveries? Toby Williams and his team are in the business of delivering phones and tablets every day to customers, which enables you to take the hassle out of visiting a store. The best thing about this great service is that it's free. Call Toby Williams today at 252-799-7051. That's 252-799-7051, and let his team make your wireless experience fast and easy. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
Do you ever talk to yourself about where to eat today, and then you hear,
Warren's Hot Dogs.
Then you're thinking, yeah, 2 hot dogs, chips, and a drink for $7.50 would be awesome.
Warren's Hot Dogs.
And maybe some homemade lemonade, perhaps a pizza or a sub, and definitely an apple or peach turnover.
Warren's Hot Dogs.
Don't overthink where to eat today. Go to Warren's Hot Dogs in Greenville across from Ron Ayers or in Chocowinity next to the fire station. Warren's Hot Dogs, serving the Pirate Nation since 1991. Go Pirates!
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Eastern North Carolina's longest-running sports radio call-in show. The Brian Bailey Show is on the air. The Brian Bailey Show on Pirate Radio is brought to you by
The Angus Grill, Bostic Sugg Furniture, Bojangles, East Coast Grading, Greenville Auto World, Papa John's, Greenville Utility Company, Michelob Ultra, The Rick House, Taft Hagler, and Tiebreakers.
And now, here's Brian Bailey.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome into our show. East Carolina Pirate Baseball is our topic. Pirates, having lost 5 games in a row, looking to turn the ship around starting tomorrow night with the Camels of Campbell in town. Threats of rain in the forecast. We'll talk about that coming up in just a bit. And then Rice comes in to end the regular season. Austin Knight joins us live here in the studio. Can you believe the regular season is winding down this quickly?
It goes to the blink of an eye, for sure. You know, as soon as it kicks up, it's like, hey, man, you blink your eyes and you're through the season. So it's hard to believe, but it's here.
Pitching staff has had some injury situations. Obviously, if you follow Pirate Baseball, we'll get the latest on some of that and much more as we continue with Austin Knight, pitching coach at East Carolina. Back with our show after this.
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Vaughn. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Give me that ooey gooey, crispy, crunchy, mouth watering. Give me that creamy, dreamy, meaty topping, pepperoni popping. Give me that crispy, coated, only Papa John's. Better get you some. Try the trio before it's gone.
Hey, Pirate fans, Papa John's is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Go Pirates!
We filled the trucks so you'll save big bucks during the Lazy Boy truckload sale at Bostic Sugg Furniture. Look for the Lazy Boy truck in our parking lot. It's filled with Lazy Boy furniture at huge savings. Take advantage of big rig discounts of up to 50% off Lazy Boy recliners and motion sofas, Lazy Boy stationary furniture, leather, sectionals, and chairs. But quantities are limited. There's no reorders, no rain checks. So roll in before these savings roll out during the Lazy Boy truckload sale at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
My whole business just went up in flames, but my agent was there before the fire was out. We started a plan. I've got 25 employees who could be out of a job if we didn't get this place running again. My independent agent and auto owner's insurance, they made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll. That's incredible.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there.
This is Jeff Gibson with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
I'm Donald Stocks, owner of PIP Marketing Signs Print. We are your one-stop shop for just about anything printed. If we're not your go-to printer, please give us a call at 355-1636. We have over 80 5-star Google reviews and want you to be our next more than satisfied and well-pleased customer. Check us out at growatpip.com or stop in to see us at 3185 Mosley Drive in Greenville. PIP, where business goes to grow.
Here with Greg Lassiter from Champions Gym. And Greg, you've got a tremendous staff working for you with professional trainers. You've got classes like cycle, Pilates, muscle pump, Zumba. Talk about what you can bring to people like myself who's just getting back into the physical fitness world.
We've got all those classes, but the main thing we've got is a way for people to come in and feel comfortable. People, when they go in that gym, they feel like that is their home away from home.
Give the address and the phone number.
4190 Bayswater Drive, Winterville, 353-0544.
Champions Health and Fitness.
Pirate Radio. Life's good, and why wouldn't it be?
Drink up me, Aussie Joe-ho.
I'm a pirate after all. You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, providing reliable utility solutions to the Greenville region since 1905. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to our show as we continue on. Austin Knight, pitching coach at East Carolina, as the Pirates get set to wrap up the regular season. Campbell comes to town tomorrow night. Campbell's always a pain in the Pirates' side, and then they get Rice to end the regular season. As we go into break, we talked about the fact that the season has absolutely flown by. It was really flying by before you guys got some injuries on the pitching staff, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely added a challenge, certainly, to our team and to our staff, but it is what it is. Like I said earlier, no one's going to feel sorry for us, and so, we got to keep rolling and get this ship righted.
We're taking your questions or comments for Austin Knight on our Facebook Live page, also our YouTube channel for Pirate Radio. So if you have a question or comment, just jot them down. We'll pass them on to the coach. When you look at East Carolina baseball, and it's always been this way, especially since Cliff Godwin got here, there's a target on your back. I mean, teams, tend to play their best baseball when East Carolina's in the other dugout. And I really think you look at what Tulane did this weekend, and they really played outstanding baseball.
Yeah, you definitely have to tip your cap to them. I think they played well in every facet of the game and did everything that they needed to do to win the games this weekend. And so, I think at times you want to say, well, we played awful, we did this, and there were certainly times where we didn't play like ourselves this weekend. There's no question about that. But I thought that they played really, really well.
You get to this time of the season, and it's guys, they prepare their bodies all season long, but this is the grinding part, isn't it? Because you get in here and you want to be playing your best baseball, these last couple of weeks going into the tournament, you'll find out your national seedings or your seedings coming up later on. But it's difficult. It's a difficult balance because, the more you play, the more chances you have for injuries, and the more, the more tired you get, or the more fatigue sets in. And, it's a difficult time to kind of right that ship, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, every team in the country really deals with these things. Every team in college baseball, really in professional baseball as well. It's not just us, right? It's everybody in the country. And so usually the teams that can be consistent and hold true are the teams that can stay the most healthy or have the most depth, one of the two. And so, like I said, everyone's dealing with it, and it's not just us that's dealing with it. And so we just have to we got to get back to playing good baseball and controlling the things that we can control.
Okay, so some of the injury situations, obviously Jake Hunter's out for the year. How's Jake been? I see him on the bench, and I see him really, he loves this team, and he's one of the biggest cheerleaders. I guess maybe he's an assistant coach now on that bench, isn't he?
He is. He's the best. He's the best, and special kid, and man, it was a gut punch when that happened, because I know all the work that he's put in and just what he's, through 3 years, and just the impact he has on our team, and so at this point, he's become an assistant coach. He's helping guys. He's out there with me and with the pitchers when they're throwing pregame and things like that, and helping some young pitchers kind of find their way a little bit. And so now, while it's unfortunate, he is still giving back to our team, and he's still making people around him better, which is awesome.
Yeah, I would say too that he sees things that maybe not a coach doesn't even see, because he's been there. He's been there this season. He's been on that mound, and maybe he can relate a different way.
Yeah, 100%. And he has interesting perspectives. You talk about his freshman year, he was in the weekend rotation, and then by the end of the year, he's not even on the travel roster or the 30-man as it is now. And then, of course, last year had a solid year and was having a good year this year. And so he's gone through a lot of adversity and a lot of challenging times. And so he has unique perspectives that he can help really anybody with.
What's his prognosis as far as the future for him?
Well, he's going down, and he will end up having to have surgery at Tommy John, and so he's going down and looking to get that done this week, and then he'll rehab, and we'll have him back as soon as he's healthy. Right?
Good, because he's a good kid, and that'd be great for your pitching staff. All right, we did see Wyatt Lunsford-Shankman in Game 1 the other night. How did he fare after his pitching performance that night, and what's his situation?
Yeah, it's a day-to-day thing with really him and Zach, and so Wyatt has been trending up. They've both been trending up over the last week. Obviously wanted to get him into a clean inning situation this weekend, and so it's going to be day-to-day and how you feeling, and testing him with our athletic trainer and all the people that work with him and with us from that manner. And so he's doing better. He will play catch this afternoon. He's getting his treatment in today. He's going to get a lift in today. And so, like I said, all those guys are trending in the right direction. It's just a matter of making sure that we are safely getting them back into games, and of course getting them back into the scenarios that they need to be in to help us down the road.
I would say that's one of the trickiest parts, not only of Cliff Godwin's job, but especially of your job as a pitching coach, because you're not a trainer, but you have to kind of work hand in hand with your training staff to make sure, because this isn't fast pitch softball. Fast pitch softball, those girls, and I coached it for a while, they can throw a long time because the arm's a different way. But these guys, you have to protect those arms, and especially those, the All-American arms, because that's a lot of money on the line down the road.
For sure. And our athletic trainer, Logan Rupp, now he does an incredible job, and he works endlessly and tirelessly. He's very proactive. He's in there with them all the time, and so we work hand in hand. And of course, Dennis Wilson, our strength coach, is a part of that as well. And so there's a lot of work that goes into even months and months and months in advance of getting these guys ready for the season and understanding the rigors that's going to be presented through that. And so we're always working together. And of course, when these situations occur with injuries and different things like that, it's frustrating. But we're putting all the efforts that we can possibly put in to, of course, make sure that these guys are healthy and safe, and of course helping the Pirates win on the field.
Had a chance to see Zach throw before the Duke game. He was down in the bullpen, and I just enjoyed watching him throw a game, because I was like, man, he's such a good pitcher, and we missed him on the mound, and it was just neat to see him throwing, and he's feeling much better.
Yeah, he is, and he's gotten off the mound a couple times, but it's really the same. It's really the same with Shankman. It's just making sure, because it's not just, hey, are you feeling good?
Right.
It's, can you go out there? Can you execute the game plan that we need you to? Can you? You haven't seen live hitters in a little bit, so are you able to do that? Can you manage the emotions of the game? Can you get into the mental state that you need to from a competitive side? So it's more than just, hey, my arm feels good, I can go pitch again. It's not that simple, right? Yeah. And so for him, it's just making sure that we're bringing him along. And again, it's the same deal. Our goal is to win a national championship.
Right.
And so I think we definitely need those two guys on the mound to help us win a national championship. And so if it's another week or whatever, or if they pitch this weekend and they're continuing to move in the right direction, then hey, that's beautiful. But we need them at the end of the year.
If you haven't checked yet, the RPI for East Carolina is at 12. Baseball America has East Carolina ranked at number 12. D1 Baseball, which is kind of the ranking we've used all year, is at number 13. How much do you guys talk about RPIs and rankings, if at all, when you get in a staff meeting or with the players?
We don't talk about it, or to be honest with you, we definitely don't talk about it with our players.
Right.
I mean, we're obviously informed about what's happening, with the RPI situation, and our non-conference RPI is number 2 in the entire country, which is really, really good.
Yeah.
So we're informed about it, but I just think if you get wrapped up in that stuff, man, you're worrying about things that aren't necessarily need to be at the forefront of your mind. We need to worry about getting better today. We need to worry about winning a game tomorrow, and the rest of that stuff will take care of itself. But if you start worrying about the results and are we going to host, are we going to be a national seed, are we going to be all these different things, then you're putting the cart before the horse.
Right.
And if you do that, man, you look up and hey, you'll go like runs that we're on right now. And I'm not saying that that's a reason why we haven't played the best baseball, because I don't think that that's a part of it.
Right.
But that's a way that you can be very inconsistent at the end of the year for sure.
Yeah, and I think that's some of the things that the media does. Obviously, the fans do. They check out all that stuff and look at everything. But I knew you guys didn't talk to the players about it. But it's one of those situations that obviously the goal when you start is to win a conference championship. And the Pirates take a 1-game lead with 3 to play coming into this weekend. UTSA is 1 game behind. UTSA, though, has the tiebreaker over East Carolina. Yeah. So if you guys tie for the regular season championship, You still get a share of it, but they just have the tiebreaker for the top seed, and he's going to be the 2 seed. We were talking before we went on the air. Since Austin's been here, the Pirates have been nothing but the number 1 seed in the tournament.
Yeah.
It seems like since I've been here, and I've been here forever, but it seems like every year that's one thing we always look at is the Pirates as the top seed, and still have a very, very good chance of doing that again.
Yeah, I think, if you looked up at the beginning of the year and you asked people and you asked our team and you asked our coaches, hey, at the end of the season with 4 games left, you guys are going to be 37-13. I think that's our record.
Yeah.
37-13.
Yep.
And you're going to have a chance to win a championship at the end of the weekend. Like, would you be okay with that?
Right.
And I think everybody would say, heck yeah, I would be all right with that. And so from my perspective, man, the sun came up today, and it's a blessing to be able to coach an awesome team at an awesome place. And so my thing is we just got to get back to playing good baseball, and I think everyone will feel good about it, and everybody will be happy with the product where we end up at the end of this.
And I think coming back home, because you read all this stuff on message boards and all this other stuff on these things, but when you get home and your real fans are at the ballpark on Tuesday night, then on Thursday, Friday, Saturday for the Rice Series. I mean, and this team plays so well at home. What's the record? 23-4 at home. I mean, this team really, really plays well at Clark LeClaire Stadium. So I mean, you're looking at a situation where this thing can turn around. And baseball is a game of streaks. I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, look at the streak Riley Johnson was on. Was it 44 games in a row? He got home base. I mean, that's unheard of.
That's right.
And it's just it's just crazy. But when things go bad, sometimes they tend to go bad until you turn them around.
That's right.
And I think that's right. That's the thing now.
100%. You can't predict this game. You can't predict what's going to happen. You can't play it on paper. You can't look at the Warren Nolan RPI and say we're predicted to win every game, so it's just going to happen.
Right.
And so my deal is, it sucks and it's not fun to be in a streak like this. But as soon as you turn it around and you start playing better baseball, then hey, it's over, right? Like that streak is over, it's done, and we're right back on track. And of course, being at home is awesome. You much rather be at home at the end of the season than on the road necessarily. So definitely excited to be playing for a championship this weekend in front of a lot of awesome fans and finish this thing out strong.
And of course, you'll be scoreboard watching a little bit. UTSA goes on the road to play Florida Atlantic for a 3-game series. So, and I've been trying to figure out magic numbers. I racked my brain last week trying to figure out, put it into a thing. But basically, Pirates have a 1-game lead. If you sweep Rice, you have to worry about anything. If you drop one of those games, you have to keep an eye on the scoreboard and that kind of thing. So, but still, it's exciting to know that you're playing for a championship this weekend.
Heck yeah, there's not many teams in the country that get to play for a championship, and that's just the reality of it. And so it's definitely exciting that when we strap it on this weekend and we play Rice, hey, like you're playing for something that's important. You're playing for not that every game is important, as we know, because of our goals, but you're playing for a championship, man, and that's just something that we've been able to do here is play for a championship every single year. And like I said, there's not many teams in the country that can say that and do that consistently.
37-13 is the Pirate record, 16-8 in the American, and as we said, 5-game losing streak, and it stops tomorrow night if the game is played. Lots of rain in the forecast for the Campbell game, but we'll talk more about that coming up in just a bit. Austin Knight's our guest. Back with more on the Brian Bailey Show after this.
This is a Pirate Radio Sports Break presented by Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11 north of the airport in Greenville. In the minor leagues over the weekend, Connor Norby went 1 for 4 with an RBI on Friday. Trey Benton pitched on Friday. He went 2 innings, allowed 1 hit and 1 strikeout. Josh Moreland went 1 for 5 on Friday, and Zach Agnos suffered his first loss of the season for Spokane, going 1/3 of an inning, allowing 2 runs on 1 hit. On Saturday, Josh Groves pitched for Lake County. He went 4 innings, allowed 6 runs on 5 hits and 6 strikeouts. This has been a Pirate Radio Sports Break. I'm Shirley Rhodes.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers does real burgers better than anybody. And don't forget about the cheese sticks, fresh salads, and more. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, burgers and sports at its best.
Go Pirates! Arr!
This is Brian Harris with 360 Golf Carts, Pitt County's go-to shop for all things golf carts. We have EasyGo, club car, and utility carts to choose from. Whether it's for the beach, riding around the neighborhood, or working in the yard, 360 Golf Carts has the perfect ride for you. If you have issues with your current cart, take it by my shop for an expert's diagnosis. From parts to sales to service, we have you covered. We will even deliver right to you. So come see me, Brian Harris, on Highway 43, just past D.H. Conley High School. 360 Golf Carts, Pirates supporting Pirates.
Pirate fans, the 2024 ECU football season will be here before you know it, and season tickets are on sale now. Lock in your season tickets to be a part of the Dowdy-Ficklin experience all year long. Season tickets start as low as $115. Payment plans are also available to fans who lock in their seats early. Just head to ECUPirates.com or call the athletic ticket office at 1-800-DIAL-ECU. We look forward to seeing you in Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium in 2024.
Looking for physical therapy near you? Have you had orthopedic surgery, a work or sports injury, or a medical condition that has limited your day-to-day activities? At ENC Physical Therapy, we strive to provide one-on-one care with a personalized treatment plan with little to no wait times for initial evaluation. ENC Physical Therapy is located in Washington, a convenient 20-minute drive from Greenville. As a patient, you have options and the right to choose where to go. So give ENC Physical Therapy a call today at 252-495-0018. ENC Physical Therapy.
Baltimore Orioles baseball.
1-1. There's a smash out to the gap in left center field. This will find grass, and it'll head up to the wall to left center. It bangs off of it. Mountcastle scores easily from second base. It's the second double of the inning. It's courtesy of Jordan Westberg, and the Orioles with a 1-0 lead as Westberg again kicks off the Orioles scoring.
Catch all the action right here on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Pirate Radio, your number one station for the latest on ECU sports. We are the voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities. Community owned, community powered. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back on this Monday. Continuing on with Austin Knight, third-year pitching coach at East Carolina, taking your questions or comments on our Facebook Live page. We've also got our YouTube page fired up, our YouTube channel for Pirate Radio. If you have anything to ask, comment, that kind of thing. We're going to go through the series and talk about some of the situations that happened in the series. Tulane beat East Carolina in Game 1, 6-5. Jacob Starling, 3 hits in the game, 3 RBIs. Connor Rasmussen, the former Pirate, was 3 for 5 in that game. And I was just telling Coach, I don't remember much about him. And Coach was saying he was kind of a role player, as most players are as freshmen at East Carolina. And he kind of looked around and saw everybody coming back and decided to transfer. And it's good for him that he's having a good season with Tulane.
Yeah. You hate that it comes at the expense of us, certainly.
Right?
But he was a good kid. He worked hard when he was here. We had a lot of returners coming back on the infield, and I guess he wanted to maybe go somewhere where he could play more or whatever. And so he's having a good year. So so obviously you're happy for the kid. The kid's a good kid, man.
Right?
And he did everything we asked when he was here.
Trey Savage did not take the loss, but didn't pitch his best game of the season. When you look at it, and you were telling me before we went on the air that if you look at a couple of different things, he could have gotten out of unscathed almost.
Yeah, to start it off, Trey's been so good the entire year.
Dominating.
Just dominant, man. And so, the consistency that he's shown throughout the course of the season, it's hard to replicate for anybody. And so, he did not have, his best stuff, I would say, especially from a secondary standpoint, is off speeds, which are usually, his best pitches, so to speak. The velocity and everything was still there. But I think, from that standpoint, I told Trey, you look up, man, and in the innings that you gave up, the 2 big swings, they both came with 2 outs, and they both followed walks prior to that. And so, we look up and we manage things a little bit better from that standpoint. Maybe we don't walk a guy, we make them earn their way on, or we make a take better pitch, and you look up and you didn't have your best stuff, and you throw 6 scoreless innings, right? Now, again, hats off to Tulane from that standpoint, because you got one of the best pitchers in the country out there, and you got 2 swings off with 2 outs in these innings. innings and put up 5 runs against them, and so, like I told you off air, I think they did as good of a job of making Trey battle through it as anyone did. But I also thought Trey showed a lot of toughness in that, he gave up those 5 runs and he still pitched into the 6th inning, still gave his team a chance to win, which is what makes him special.
And you look at something like that, when you're cruising along like he's been cruising along, sometimes you need something like that to make you understand that, hey, things can happen. And if he comes back tougher than he was before, it's even better.
And he's the kid that will respond.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the kid that he definitely is not going to sulk on that outing. He's the leader of our team, and so he's going to respond, in my opinion, in a really good manner. And expect him to be right back on track this week for sure.
Used a lot of pitchers in that first game, and that was something that the game dictates.
Yeah, of course, the game definitely dictates that. You can't just script it out and hope that it's going to work out for you, right? And so you used several guys in that game. I mean, you used several guys the whole weekend,
right?
The whole weekend, and so it was a taxing weekend. There's no question about that. And of course, it's unfortunate that you use those arms and you're going for that win on Friday night, and it does end up going your way. Well, like anything, you're asked to respond, and so you're going to put your best foot forward the next day as well. But yeah, it was definitely a taxing weekend, and like I told you off air as well, the 2 weekends prior, we were able to, just kind of to manage it a little bit better,
right?
Because with these injuries, because Trey would go out on Friday and we would run roll the 2 teams, and so you were playing less innings. You weren't exposed from that standpoint of having to get too deep into the bullpen. Now, with that being said, I think the guys that are going out there, man, they're battling their tails off, they're battling their rear ends off, and a lot of those guys are getting better and obviously getting more experience in big spots, which can only help you.
Yeah. Hey, when you look at the top, say the top 5 in college baseball, top 10, and you look at what they do each weekend, and nobody's going undefeated every weekend. I mean, that's just how baseball is. The other thing that's interesting, if you're a Pirate fan, the game 2 loss to Tulane. Tulane beat East Carolina 7-3 in game 2. That's the largest margin of victory all season. And there are teams, Kentucky and Texas A&M. They've had, you have a game every once in a while, you just get your doors blown off. No matter how good you are, 100%, it happens. 100%. But it hasn't happened to East Carolina, really. I mean, you guys have been in every game.
Yeah, I mean, we got, this isn't a great stat, but we've got 9 one-run losses this year.
Right.
The 13, a couple of 2-run losses, and then, of course, like you said, that was the widest margin. And if you really pay attention to college baseball, like, it is an offensive game these days.
Yeah.
Like, people are scoring runs at a crazy clip. I'm talking about 15, 16, sometimes 20 runs on a weekend, which is wild. And so I think it says a lot about our team that, fortunately we haven't been in too many scenarios like that to this point, right? And so I think it says a lot about our entire team, their will to fight, their will to stay in every game, regardless of if there's a deficit or if it's going well or if it's not going well. That they're going to continue to battle and they're going to continue to fight, and that's a good trait, especially when you get into postseason baseball.
In game 2, Ethan Norby got the start. He goes 4 1/3, and I think he's another key to this pitching staff going forward. He's really pitched well.
Yeah, and I thought he pitched well on Saturday. Saturday. The thing with him, he's been really good against left-handed hitters, and right-handed hitters have been, it's not. I don't want to say kryptonite because it's not like he gets beat around, but he gives up more hits against right-handed hitters. Well, Tulane stacked a lot of right-handed hitters in there, and which they should, right? And I thought he did a nice job of navigating that and executing some different pitches. We haven't thrown his cutter too much the entire season really since early on. Well, we asked him to throw the cutter quite a bit on Saturday to bridge the fastball and the slider, and it was very useful. And so he's an advanced freshman, man, from a mentality standpoint and an execution standpoint, and just really happy with the way that he continues to go out there and give us a chance to win every single time he takes them out.
And it's really one of those situations as you navigate it forward, you have to take all of the ingredients. So you got a couple of injuries and you got a couple of guys coming here. They changed their roles a little bit, and the whole thing is designed to when you get get in postseason play, you got a list basically of this is what we're going to do here, and we've learned through all these games how we're going to manufacture that.
100%. You know, at this point, I think you've got a lot of answers, right? You got a lot of answers of what guys can do, how long they need to be out there, who they need to be facing. I mean, we have the numbers, we have all the analytics, we have all the information, and so obviously decisions are being made upon that. And who's good in short bursts, who's good against right-handed hitters, who's good against left-handed hitters, who's good second time through the lineup, who can go longer, who needs to stay shorter, who needs to start an inning. We have all that information and all the information, so it's all informed decisions that we're making. But like you said, whenever you have really 3 of your best 5 pitchers that are on the shelf, other guys other guys' roles, they have to expand. And for me, I look at that as, hey, well, what's the positive that's coming along from this? Right?
Opportunity.
Yeah, it's an opportunity.
Right.
You're getting guys out there in situations that maybe they weren't in as much before, or maybe that they didn't thrive in before. Right? Maybe they failed in those situations early in the year and they learned from it. And throughout the course of the season, you're always communicating with these guys and saying, hey, that situation is going to come up again.
Right.
It's going to come up again, and you have to be ready for it, right? You got to learn from the last. What didn't work? What's going to work for you next time? And so I think, especially with as many young arms you're throwing, or guys that maybe in the past haven't been guys that we leaned on in those situations, them being in that scenario, man, it's only going to help us throughout postseason and moving forward.
Pirates fall in that second game. 7-3 was that final, and then on Sunday, the Wild affair, 10-9, the final in 10 innings in that one. And the story on the mound for the Sunday game was Danny Beal and what he was able to manufacture for you guys, to eat some innings and really pitch well and look like the Danny Beal that we know.
Yeah, he was a warrior. He's always a warrior. He's a guy that always wants to pitch. He always wants the ball. I don't think going into that game there was any thought that he was going to throw that much, right? Throw that deep into the game, pitch that deep into the game. But he was honestly getting more effective as he was going.
Right.
And with our bullpen being in the situation it was in, from me and Coach Godwin, we thought the best chance for us to win the game was to continue to let him go. And of course, we're communicating with him. I told him, hey man, like if you get to a point to where like, hey, you're toast, you need to tell me. And I don't care if it's in the 4th inning, I don't care if it's in the 5th inning, whatever. But he kept getting stronger and he kept throwing the ball awesome. And so I was really proud of him, man. He threw the ball good and was he kind of embodied who we are out there, to be honest with you.
I was going to say, how tough is that? Because, guys want to pitch, guys want to play, and in pitchers, and I've never been a pitcher, obviously, but if their arm's a little fatigued, what's the difference in a little fatigue and maybe possibly hurting themselves?
Yeah.
It's such a fine line, the whole thing is.
It is, and that's why we have protocols around it with our trainer and our strength coach, and all these guys are going in there, and they're going through testing, and they're going through all that, and then when they pick up the baseball, we're getting information and understanding where they're at physically. And the funny thing is, Danny texted me prior to the game on Sunday and said, I feel better today than I felt the whole weekend. I've got us today.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good.
And so, which again, special human, special player, special kid to be able to do that on a Sunday when he knew we needed him. Right.
Yeah.
But also fortunate that he was feeling awesome. Because if he wasn't, then we weren't going to put him out there. But like I said, we have protocols around all that stuff, and our athletic trainer does an awesome job. He does a really, really good job with our guys of making sure that they're feeling good, that their range of motion is in a good place, that their strength is in a good place, and of course, from our perspectives of when they start playing catch that day, when they're getting out there and starting to get going, that hey, like we're in a good place, we're good mentally, we're good physically, and here's what I can give you today. So it's a lot of communication and it's a lot of testing protocols, but we're certainly trying to stay ahead of all that stuff.
What was Cliff's message to the team after the loss? 10-9, you lose it in extra innings. You're getting ready to get on a plane and come back to Greenville. It's obviously going to be a long flight and everybody's kind of down. But what did Coach say?
I think it was pretty simple in the fact that we battled yesterday. I thought we battled, and we just didn't do quite enough to win the game. But the biggest thing for our group is to stay together and to pull from the same rope, and that's what's going to get us back on track. And so simply, he said, "Hey man, like this is over. This is over as soon as we get off the bus in Greenville, and we have to put our mind and our best foot forward to the next game, to the next situation, to the next practice, to your recovery on Monday today, and your sleep tonight." And so it was very forward thinking. It was not, hey, we're not going to feel sorry for ourselves because nobody cares. Nobody cares that the Pirates have lost lost 5 straight. No one in the country. And we don't need to either. We need to get back on track. And so his message was very simple. It was that, hey, we gotta move forward, and we gotta get better from this.
I think he said somewhere there aren't many teams with 37. He may have said it in the pregame show on Sunday. There aren't many teams with 37 wins on the season so far. So we're one of a few that have 37. And so we got those 37 wins by playing Pirate baseball.
That's right.
Just got to get back to doing that. Now, somebody had written in and asked about the Saturday game when Coach Godwin was ejected. The pitch clock is good in some respects in college baseball. And sometimes it can be misconstrued, or I don't think it's getting what it's supposed to accomplish. A ball got loose from the bullpen near your dugout, and Dixon Williams was given an extra strike. We're giving a strike right there. But it was so quickly done that Coach didn't even realize it.
That's right. And so I'll defend CG on this one for sure, because I would have been pretty angry as well.
I would too.
So basically, what happened? A ball got loose. It was kind of hovering in front of the entrance of the first base dugout and home plate, which is very close to one another there. And so the umpire was, I don't know if he was holding up time, but just kind of pointing at the ball, but he had not put the ball in play or anything of that nature. He was looking at us, right? And so we get out there, we get the ball, and I think Dixon, of course, was under the impression that maybe he had time or something of that nature. And so then they call a pitch clock violation on Dixon. Now, in that situation, Coach is looking out of second base. He's running. He's doing all the things that he does on base, right? So he did not know at the time that that was the reason he got the pitch clock violation. He just thought maybe Dixon didn't get in the box on time,
right? And
so when we got back in the dugout, of course, Henry Lartigue, our hitting coach, told Coach Godwin, hey man, like he didn't take initiative. The umpire didn't take initiative of the situation and control the situation more. So of course, as Coach Godwin should do, he got angry.
Right.
Out there to have a nice cordial conversation with them. A very polite conversation with them to tell him that he needs to do a better job. And of course, he's walking away, and the umpire throws him out of the game. And it's like, all right, man, whatever. I appreciate you just making this situation bigger than what it needs to be at this point. And so I just think it was a not properly managed situation, and so it of course led to Coach Godwin's ejection, which is unfortunate.
Right. Well, you think about if that happens, and when the umpire does the pitch clock violation, one of the other umpires could have called time right there and said, hey, there's a ball over here. We didn't account for that. We should have accounted for that. Just take that away and let's keep playing baseball, because the idea is to get everything the call right. We go through all these replays and everything else, so we got to get the call right. So you got 3 umpires out there who didn't say a thing about it. And I mean, that's one thing that could have happened. And then I don't understand how something like that happened. And what the umpire, when he does this, that's part of the what does that exactly mean? Because to me it always, when you're playing with the kids, I got my eye on you.
Yeah, so it's
a weird signal.
It's funny. And so earlier in the year, just because of the way the pitch clock rules were written, of course, pitchers are trying to work fast, right? And so there was a lot of instances early in the season where guys were starting their motion before the hitter was even looking at them. And so that's what he's
saying.
And so they sent out a memo somewhere halfway in the year that they still don't really control very well. But basically, that you have the first time that you start your delivery without the guy, looking at you, as a warning. Second time, it'll be a ball, right?
Okay.
Now, they don't.
It's the weirdest thing, though. I mean,
and so, with Norby works really, really fast.
Right.
It's just like his thing. He likes to get the ball. He likes to get it.
Which infielders love.
Yes, of course. Yeah. And it's awesome. But at times Norby will start his delivery before the hitter is looking at him. But on the other side of it, at times the umpire's giving him the go.
Right.
And Norby is looking at the umpire. He's not looking at the hitter's eyes.
Right.
Like, what pitcher is looking at the hitter's eyes? Like, give me a break. Right.
That's right.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And so the umpire gives him the go, and he's going. And then, of course, now the other bench is yelling at the umpire because the hitter's head it wasn't up. And so it's just it's one of those weird rules. But that's what that means when the umpire goes, "Hey, I'm looking at you."
It always cracks me up when they do that, because I'm thinking I've never I knew it was having something to do with the pitch clock, but I wasn't quite sure exactly what it was. And Clip Brock, you can jump in on this one, because the over/under on ejections for Coach Godwin was 1.5. And he owes us dinner if he goes again, right? Isn't that
Yeah.
For media day?
In fact, he basically guaranteed he wasn't going to get ejected at all.
Right.
So,
I heard the same thing.
But now he's one away from losing the bet.
Yeah.
What was the over-under was 1?
1.5.
1.5.
1.5.
Yeah.
Bailey and I took the over.
Yeah.
Godwin said he's going under.
I would have taken the over at the beginning, to be honest with you.
Still got time.
Yeah, we got time.
Still got time.
I don't know at this point, though. I don't know if he'll get thrown out again.
It's hot in Clearwater. Sometimes
it is.
Sometimes it that goes.
Especially when your guys get thrown out for eating sandwiches.
That's right. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. One time he was ejected in Clearwater, and I was getting ready to interview Palumbo after the game was over, and Shelley Benniger was actually on the committee. She was working for East Carolina at the time, and she was on the committee, and she said, Cliff can't do an interview on the field. And so Cliff said, well, can I do it somewhere else? So Cliff drugged me underneath the stadium. We went over by the bus to do the interview, and it was good theater. It was fun.
That's something.
Good time, for sure. All right, we'll continue on with the pitching coach, Austin Knight, on our show. We'll take a break. Back with more after this.
The Angus Grill is your premier spot for the best burgers, cheesesteaks, and brisket sandwiches around. Join us for our unmatched variety of burger combinations, from the mushroom bacon Swiss burger to the jalapeno popper burger to the original Angus classic. Pair that burger with our amazing onion rings, tots, fries, or sweet potato fries. Angus Grill, with 4 amazing locations in eastern North Carolina, including Winterville near Pitt Community College, on Jarvis Street in uptown Greenville, and on Statensburg Road near the hospital. It's the best burger around, guaranteed.
This is your What's New update, brought to you by the new Greenville Auto World. What's new? The new Greenville Auto World has new owners, a state-of-the-art service repair facility that can help you with tires, state inspection, AC repair, and more. Greenville Auto World can work on any type of vehicle and offers great monthly oil change specials. What's new? You making a service appointment now by calling 364-8730. For award-winning service, trust Greenville Auto World, Highway 43 across from the Speedway of Bells Fork. Pirates supporting pirates.
Did you know that GUC's utility rates are not only low in the region, but also the state? That's right. When you combine the average electric, water, wastewater, and natural gas into one bill, only people in 2 of the 15 largest cities pay less than GUC customers. Only 2. Low rates and high reliability. Working in the best interest of the community rather than shareholders. That's the value of public utilities. That's the value of GUC. There's a common misbelief today that to make it further, you need to push yourself, that you need to give up any joy to continue your rigid routine. Or you could try another way. Take some time to enjoy life, like having a Michelob Ultra with friends, because happiness is essential to living an exceptional life. Michelob Ultra, a refreshing and balanced flavor with only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Michelob Ultra, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989.
Hi, I'm Ken Hagler of Taft and Hagler. We're proud to be sponsors of the Brian Bailey Show and the Pirate Nation on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. If you've been injured on the job or due to someone else's negligence in an automobile collision, call us at 752-2000 for a free consultation with experienced professionals who care. Go Pirates!
North Carolina State Parks invites you to enjoy camping your way. With the weather changing, booking your own cabin is the perfect solution for your camping getaway. Reserve campsites or cabins today at Jones Lake, Goose Creek, and Cliffs of the Neuse. Whether you enjoy traditional camping or air-conditioned cabins that can be rented with Wi-Fi, your next adventure can include hiking, beautiful scenery, and sunsets by the campfire. For information on booking a cabin, visit ncparks.gov.
Pirate Radio.
Remember, in a pirate ship in pirate waters in a pirate world, ask no questions. Believe only what you see.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities. Community-owned utilities mean local control, low rates, and high reliability. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back as we continue on with Austin Knight, pitching coach at East Carolina. Just 4 games in the regular season to go. East Carolina will host Campbell coming up tomorrow night, weather permitting. And then it's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series to close it out. It will be Rice coming to town. Well, senior day, usually you guys do that the day before the final game. Is that the same plan this year?
I think so. I haven't asked Blake Hardigree, our director of operations, that, but usually you do that just in case you have a weather situation on the last day of the year.
Which we could.
Yeah, right. And so make sure that we get that in. So it'll be done this weekend, and I expect that it'll be done the second day of the series.
And you guys will go to Clearwater on Sunday and practice on Monday. As we were joking about it earlier, every year you've been here, they've been the top seed, and I can't remember the last time we weren't a top seed, but it seems like you guys practice at 11, get finished about 11:50 or so, right there on the main field. And Clearwater is a really just a cool place to have the tournament. The only problem with it is not a lot of fans go because it is so far. But it's more, I think the American does it like this as a reward for all the teams. Let them go down to the beach. You know, the way the tournament is structured, you know, if you win on Tuesday, you have Wednesday off. Mm-hmm. And then if you lose on Tuesday and win on Wednesday, then you have Thursday off. So you usually get a day off if you can win a game in there and make it to Friday and Saturday. Obviously, in a double elimination format, to save your pitching, the key is
win the game in front of you.
Win the game that's right there in front of you.
Last year it was a heck of a week. You know, we played. I can't remember. I don't know how many games you end up playing to have to go through the losers bracket to get to. 6 or 7. I can't remember.
It's crazy.
It's a lot. And so now you look at the year before, it was a clean sweep straight through in 2022, and that was
easy peasy.
That was the way to do it. You know, that was the way to do it for sure. But no, it's, you know, like any tournament format, the most important thing you can do is win the game in front of you. That's the most important game. The first game is it sets you up for the rest of the way.
I forget which year it was. I don't think you were here yet, but there was a tropical system off the coast right there at Clearwater Beach. You weren't here yet, right? And all of a sudden, the American, they moved all the games up in the day to try to get them in, and they were just squeezing the whole. And Coach Godwin said, you know, he said all the coaches are saying, hey, this isn't fast pitch softball. You know, we got to have time for our pitchers to rest, and you know, we just can't play all these games like that. And it was a real issue. I think they ended up playing the championship game on a Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, and then they finished up a day early, and I ended up staying for the extra day before I flew back. But I've rarely flown. I usually drive to Clearwater because I got so much equipment, but this year I'm flying again. So
good for you.
That is a good plus, because this guy's going to get coming back last year. That's the hard part when you're playing the championship game. Coming back, I left Clearwater at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon driving.
Oh no!
And I wanted to be back at noon for the pairing show, because that's the big deal.
Right.
And I missed the turnoff to get to Buc-ee's in Florence twice. But I think I slept through both of them, and I was the only one in the car.
Sleeping with your eyes open.
Yeah, so that didn't go so well. So they told me, the station, they didn't want me to try that again. So
I wouldn't do that.
Kind of a bad idea. All right, when you look at this pitching staff right now, when you're getting ready for Campbell, today, it's going to be a Johnny Holstaff day tomorrow if you guys play because of the weather. But if you do play, a lot of guys are going to get a chance to pitch. But what you'll do today is go back, see how everybody's feeling, and then come up with a plan.
Yeah, the same thing, kind of what we talked about throughout the course of the weekend. We'll get in there and kind of test some guys and see where they're at physically, and then have them play. You know, have some of those guys play catch, and just figure out who's in a good physical place to pitch tomorrow. And then of course, you know, you get a good night's rest and go from there. But yeah, the plan will be made after I can kind of lay eyes on all of our guys and see how they're moving, see how their arms are feeling, and kind of go from there.
When you sit down with the guys, you know, is there like a committee? Coach Godwin in there? You have the trainer in there? I mean, he's kind of, everybody has to kind of figure the thing out together.
Yeah, and Coach will come in and out of there, but mainly it's me and our athletic trainer, and then of course Heath Blackman, our player development personnel guy. He helps with the pitching as well, and so we're all kind of making those decisions together. And then for me, it's more, hey, Coach, these are the guys who can throw tomorrow, and so, you know, how do you kind of want to go about this? Let's talk through this a little bit. This is what they're good against, and let's figure out how we want to kind of script this thing. Not script out, but you know, the guys who do we want pitch at the beginning, who do you want pitch in the middle, who do you want it towards the end, all those type of things.
You know, sometimes there's situational type deals where one guy will come in and face one batter. Mm-hmm. Is there less of that when you're looking at a whole staff type game? Is there a different theory?
Unless it's like such a a big, disparity in the matchups, right? And this guy is hitting, 500 versus left-handers and 200 versus left or right-handers, and you have guys in scoring position or whatever, and you got to get that guy out. I think in those cases you can certainly bring somebody in who matches up right. But of course, in the middle of the week, whenever you're kind of limited on your arms and all that stuff, it's a little bit less of the quote unquote matchup orientation and more like, hey, let's get this guy out in the clean inning and go see what he can do.
The whole idea of calling pitches and the way you guys call pitches in the middle of games has changed dramatically with technology. What kind of device do you have that you're calling the pitches now? That the pitcher and the catcher, or all the infielders as well? Everybody has a little watch. Or?
Yeah, they have a watch. I mean, it's not an Apple Watch, but
it's about the size of an Apple.
It's about the size of an Apple Watch, and so our entire field has it.
Okay.
So the pitcher, catcher, all the infielders, and the outfielders have it, and that way we can run our picks through it. We can run all of everything that we need to run from a defensive system through that. Now I have basically a little, like a small, almost calculator looking remote in hand. It's very small, right? And so I can just punch it in and send it, and it sends out to our players and vibrates on the wrist, and they know what pitch is called or if there's a pickoff on or whatever it may be. And so it's very simple, it's very easy, it's very efficient. Most importantly,
I was going to say, but how you have to get comfortable with that thing. I mean, at some point, because what if you hit the wrong button and all of a sudden?
I've done that a couple times.
I mean, it's like, what do you do?
So I usually yell out of the dugout. To be honest with you, I'll be like, hey, step off, wrong pitch, wrong deal. And because sometimes it's literally just like a calculator. So it has the numbers lined up, 147, and so on and so forth, right? And 2, 3, all of it. And so sometimes, to be honest, I'll be punching it in. And I'm so used to, I'm trying to watch the field. I'm trying to watch leads. I'm trying to see where guys are standing in the box, all these different things. And so at times when I press it, I'll send it in, and they'll be like, I have 2 pitchers sitting next to me with the watch as well. And they'll be like, hey, coach, you just put a 7 in there. I was like, hey, wrong thing.
Wow.
Put it back in there, And so we haven't gotten messed up yet this year on any of that stuff. We haven't got crossed up or anything for the entire year, which is awesome. And so, but there has been a handful of times there's been some user error on my part, but obviously it's easy to fix, right?
Yeah.
And so it's easy to fix and just reset it and get their attention and kind of go from there.
And what all do you call? I mean, obviously you think about fastball, slider, all that, but do you call where you want the pitch? Low and out.
All of it. So location.
So heights. Is it like one number stands for this, one number stands for that?
Yes.
That
so every number and the numbers are actually the exact same, pretty much as when we were actually just calling the pitches for the catchers.
Gotcha.
And so the system has stayed the same.
Right.
And so I can call of course the pitch. Do I want it away? Do I want it extended? Do I want it in the dirt? Do I want a fastball elevated? Do I want whatever? Do I want it elevated to a certain side of the plate? Right? Do I want it extra inside? Do you want it extra away from the hitter? You can do all of those things. And so we've just created a system, in my opinion, that's very simple, but it covers all the bases that we need from the pitch calling standpoint.
Yeah, and it's almost, when you see the numbers come across, like when Cliff's doing the thing at third base, it's similar, but he's doing his by hand, obviously. Right. But there's still a number sequence, and they look down and get to 139, and they know what that means, and, and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Same type of thing.
Absolutely. And so I think from ours, it's a little bit different because you're not looking at the sign card.
You already know the numbers.
You know what the numbers mean.
Yeah.
You know what the numbers signify, and so if you're in a leverage count and you're trying to get a chase on a pitch, that this is what that stands for.
Right.
Or if we're behind, this is what this stands for. Or if we're going in, this is what this stands for. And so we have basically meaning behind all the numbers.
Are there any fears that the other team can intercept any of that, or is it?
I think it's kind of become a thing through college baseball. Everybody's using these things now. Like everyone.
They all have different frequencies.
They all have different frequencies, and it's and that's the thing is like all these devices that we have all have different we have our own frequency,
right,
our own deal, and so it can't be. The only way they would ever get it is if someone lost their watch and left it behind or something like that, which thankfully has not happened. But everybody is using these things, so nobody's really, of course, trying to hack the system, right? Like nobody's a spy necessarily and got their satellites up in their dugout, trying to get into our frequency or anything like that to this point.
But that's always been part of baseball, stealing signs and that kind of thing.
It still is, right? You're still trying to pick pitches, like, that's an art and that's a part of the game.
Right.
That, when a guy's out there, is the catcher that may be giving something that maybe is saying whenever it's on an off-speed pitch or a fastball, and or is it the pitcher that's doing something with the grip? But that's still a part of the game. Or can you get the grips from second base or from first base, or can the third base coach see it? That's still a part of the game. It's just you can't steal the signs from the catcher giving the signs, or the pitching coach doing all his jazz over there in the dugout, all that stuff. It's just you can't necessarily get it.
So you like this a lot better than...
It's way better.
Yeah.
It's way better because you don't have to worry about all the sign sequences. You don't have to worry about night signs from the catcher. You don't have to worry about guy on second base and having multiple signs.
Right. Because a lot of times they will change signs if it runners at second base.
Well, you remember we went to the, for 2 years, we went to the sign card calling pitches.
Right.
And honestly, that was not fun for anybody involved, I don't think, because it kind of slowed the game down, and you're having to give it out of the dugout, and so we had actually did away with that for several years. But this just makes it so much easier, right? You can actually spend so much more time just coaching the players.
Right.
Instead of, hey, like we need to sit down for 30 to 45 minutes and go over all the sign systems and all the things that we need to do. It's like, no, hey, here's the sheet. We're going to go over this here. We're going to rep it out. Now you know the numbers, and this is what this all means.
And I've been around the guys when they come in from the team meeting to get ready to run on the field, and that's when they pass out, usually passing out and everything. What happens if somebody forgets to charge those things?
Well, if that happens, then we're in trouble.
Yeah.
But we have like this massive setup that has the charger systems in them. And so,
I've seen those too, yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Good, yeah. We don't want it to happen for sure. Austin Knight is our guest. We're going to take one final break. We'll come back. We'll wrap things up with Coach Knight. It's been a quick hour. Back with more after this.
Daydreaming of being on the water? The Pirate Waters Outfitter in Washington is your place to get ready. This is Captain Bo Brooks with Pirate Waters Outfitter, and we are stocked up with the best selection of everything for the summer. Come in today for a new pair of Bahio sunglasses or a new color turtle box. You going fishing? We are stocked up with reels from Florida Fishing Product, new fly selections, and a full line of Smithy cast iron cookware. Pirate Waters Outfitter on Market Street in downtown Washington, and also on Facebook and Instagram.
Your Wood Ducks host the Carolina Mudcats May 14th through the 19th. Join the Wood Ducks on Thursday for $2 natural lights, bush lights, and peanuts. It is Mental Health Awareness Night and Dino Night on Friday with Ed's Dinosaur Live Experience. And on Saturday, the first 1,000 fans will receive a 2024 Wood Ducks team set. Bring 2 canned goods on Saturday to donate, and you will receive $2 off your ticket. So get your tickets today at woodducksbaseball.com or at the box office the day of the game. Come out and enjoy some Wood Ducks baseball. Go Woodies!
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Cliff Godwin, the head baseball coach at East Carolina University. I've been a Pirate Club member since I graduated in 2001, and you should too. By joining the Pirate Club, you become part of a family that helps our student athletes flourish on and off the field. When you enroll as a member, you're not just getting a membership, you're getting a front row seat to the action. To join, visit ECUPirateclub.com or call 252-737-4540 today. Go Pirates.
This is Dr. Anthony Skellick from Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. Our practice has been caring for the athletes of ECU and the residents of Eastern North Carolina for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for your sports injury or it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care. We also offer on-site physical therapy and MRI services, as well as walk-in urgent care on the weekends from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call us at 757-BONE or visit us online at orthoeast.com. And go Pirates!
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Danny Beal, and the best place to go for custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items is University Sportswear. University Sportswear was easy to work with when I needed my custom t-shirts. From start to finish, University Sportswear provided superior customer service and a quality product that cannot be beat. If your business, organization, or event needs t-shirts or promotional help, then you need University Sportswear. Visit universitysportswearenc.com for contact information. Go Pirates!
Baltimore Orioles baseball.
1-1. There's a smash out to the gap in left center field. This will find grass, and it'll head up to the wall in left center. It bangs off of it. Mountcastle scores easily from second base. It's the second double of the inning. It's courtesy of Jordan Westberg, and the Orioles with a 1-0 lead as Westberg again kicks off the Orioles scoring.
Catch all the action right here on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Pirate Radio, serving the great community of Greenville and beyond with the best content on air and on digital. You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, working for our community, not for shareholders. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to our show. The hour absolutely flew by. Austin Knight, pitching coach at East Carolina Pirates, with 4 games to go. And again, East Carolina 37-13, 16-8 in the American. They'll take a 1-game lead over UTSA into the last weekend of the series, which is a Thursday, Friday, Saturday set against the Rice Owls. Campbell comes to town tomorrow. Again, that is weather permitting. As far as the pitching rotation goes, tomorrow you guys are going to decide that later on today, and it's going to be a slew of pitchers for Campbell, Johnny Holstaff, that kind of thing. Your Savage will go on Thursday, is that right? And you go from there with the other 2?
Yeah, that's the plan as of right now. So Trey got his side work in today, looked great physically, and so he'll be planned to throw on Thursday, barring something, obviously pushing him back, and then we'll figure out Friday and Saturday as we get there.
Yeah, Savage has been such a joy to watch all season long, and he brings back memories of great Pirate pitchers from the past. The Gavin Williams, Jeff Hoffman, Carson Wisenhunt until he lost that last year. But still, he's one of those dominating arms, isn't he?
He definitely is, and he's a joy for me to coach. He really is just like the total package of course, talent, but just everything. He's a great leader for our team. He's very no nonsense, upfront. He's fun for me to coach. He's super coachable. He's done everything that I've asked him to do for the entirety of his time here at East Carolina. And so he's a stud. He's the best pitcher in the country in my book. And so looking forward to him finishing this year strong.
And the goal is for Wyatt Lunsford Shankman and Zach Root both to continue to spiral upwards, and you get a chance to see them. And season's winding down, so it's time. Hopefully they can get back in there and get some innings in.
No doubt. I totally agree and feel confident and optimistic about both those guys definitely helping us down the stretch.
Yeah. Clearwater, Florida coming up. Looking forward to the trip.
Heck yeah. Yeah. Always looking forward to that, but looking forward to playing in front of our fans here for this next week first, and then, hopefully doing that again in the postseason as well.
One of my best stories for Clearwater very quickly before we wrap it up. Jake Agnos was visiting the team. Zach was still playing with the team. They're both walking around the beach with their shirts off. I come walking up and we got a picture taken, and I'm thinking like, man, my body hasn't looked like that ever in my life. These 2 Greek gods, and we got the picture taken and put it on Twitter, and that was a lot of fun. But it has some great kids that have come through this program. The Agnos boys, most certainly 2 of those. Coach, best of luck this week, and hope you finish strong.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you coming on, talking Pirate baseball. East Carolina again, Campbell tomorrow night, weather permitting. Rice for 3, and then the tournament in Clearwater, and then on Memorial Day at noon, we'll find out where the Pirates will head for the postseason. That's our show. We'll see you back here next week. We'll be live from Clearwater. Little Bailey at the beach for you, live from Clearwater, Florida, coming up next week to